Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Welcome to the beginning of October 1982. We were last checking out Artillery Duel on the Astrocade, an excellent game. Let's see what the next release is. We're now going to the United Kingdom to play on the Commodore VIC-20, and this is Astro Fighters. I'm not familiar with Astro Fighters, but it sounds pretty generic of all the games we played. It's a space duel, played with 2 players at once, and it requires a joystick, just one joystick. It says high-res color graphics, superb sound, it's on the unexpanded VIC, and I gotta tell you, those ships kind of look familiar too. And that's all we have for artwork, at least for this one. Let's pop in and play some Astro Fighters. This is by T.R. Flanders, published by Sumlock Electronic Services, Manchester, at the beginning of October 1982. Wait, T.R. Flanders? We played other games by Sumlock Electronics Manchester, and they were by T. Flanders, which I think was Tim Flanders. So it's got to be the same guy. There's no way they have T.R. and T. Flanders working at the same company. But if it is Tim, we've last already seen Space Rescue, Chopper, and the really good Starship Escape. So let's check out the game and see what it's like. You need 2 people. So one person has the joystick, the other one has the keyboard. And you can see the controls there are A, D, S, and K for the second player. Here we go. It begins with, oh, okay, so I'm controlling player 1 with the Commodore Commodore VIC-20 joystick. And where's the sound? The sound's on, but there's no laser blast. So this is me moving my first character, and then there's my second. Got it. Oh, okay, so when you move forward, and they switch the scene up. So as soon as one of us dies, then the other player takes over. So it is a 2-player only game. There is no single-player way to... Oh, come on, shoot him. It doesn't even let me get close enough to him. But you gotta admit, I do like the space duel games. You just need someone else you can play with. All right, here, come on. All right, maybe I can just fly into one of the stars. The controls are interesting. It's tile-based programming, but the way that it's programmed feels almost like we're playing a little like Asteroids. You know, it has a little bit of physics, but it just feels so loose. But every time that you... Oh, the time's up. Every time you destroy the enemy, then it switches the screen up, which is kind of nice. All right, we'll play again, and then sure, go in it again. Look at this. Yeah, it's different play fields, so we're playing on different areas. It almost makes me feel like we're harking back to checking out a game on a console, like the Atari VCS. Yeah, and as soon as you blow up your partner, then you go to another level. They're not utilizing any gravity, even though we have this... Oh, the star can be used to shoot in different directions. So that means if for example, he flies over here, you can set off this as like a trap. Yeah, like that. Very cool. Okay, so this is a mix of lots of games. Astro Fighters feels a little bit like Space War, but it's switching up the different screens that you can play on. It has a little bit of elements of Asteroids, at least the gameplay, but the way that it's played, like the slower frame rate and moving one tile at a time, feels like it's not as polished as the other games on home computer. So I'm going to say it's still going to be a fun time if you have 2 people to play with. Switching up the screens is a great idea, but I'm going to still say subpar if you think of everything you can play right now on home computers. This is like one of those space duel style games. So I'm thinking 2.5 stars of everything so far. I see Obsidian saying 2, and then Brian saying 2.5. Yeah, it's still around the average range, but I wouldn't say as so far as calling it bad, especially if someone's there playing with you. Let's see what's next. All right, it's time to check out the fall issue of Atari Connection. Let's check it out. Hey, just ignore that guy. We don't want to talk to him. All right, so Atari Connection. We've already seen this magazine quite a few times, and we're just going to do a quick, brief look at what's happening in the world of Atari in the fall of 1982. This one is the 7th issue of Atari Connection that we've seen since 1981. What is happening here? So the front cover has a bunch of kids on the school bus. Oh, look, the cool kids. They're not bringing books. They're bringing their Atari computer. Yeah, it's the back-to-school issue. So there is a lot involving kids and colleges with the Atari computer. Over here on the left side, we have an ad for discounts of the computer age and then transportational. And then we have the table of contents, which I'm just going to gloss over because we're just going to keep going through everything. Let's take a look. The Getting Acquainted section. Oh, Popular Computing, and they bring up Chris Crawford here as a game designer. Very well done. Love Chris Crawford. at least the games we've seen so far. And then over here is by Earl Rice under Interconnections. They're bringing up the user groups and commercial enterprises have developed electronic bulletin board systems, or BBSs, as the new technology where you can connect with people on other home computers, post announcements, exchange messages, and have fun connecting with other computerists. Yes, BBS games, we've already played a few, around 5 here on the show, but they're out there, and we can play them now. Yeah, it's like the wave of the future. And then over here on this side is the ERIC, which I wasn't familiar with until reading the magazine. It's debuted at the Consumer Electronics Show, and there it is. The ERIC is the laser-based Atari system. It's the Atari home computer that is using the video disc display and combines interactive features of the Atari home computer with powerful visual storytelling, or movies, basically. It's like they're looking into the future of all the CD stuff we're going to see in the 90s. But, you know, this isn't going to have any games on it, so don't worry, we won't be seeing any games on the ERIC. And then over here is attending computer conferences if you want to. I definitely would. All right, let's flip on to the next page. Oh, on the C64, that's so cool. See, I didn't get involved with any BBSs until late 90s. We're talking like on not late 90s, late 80s on IBM PCs. All right, so our next ad is about a small school doing big on computers. In other words, they're saying that the population's 462, and they're going to be giving Atari computers to some of the kids at the school. Like this kid. Wow. That's probably not as excited for the computer, but there's someone else playing on their Atari computer there. And then, oh yeah, really getting into it. Maybe they're playing Astro Fighters. I know that was in UK only, so maybe not. And then they also bring up the pilot programming, which is used for graphics. So we'll flip on to the next one. Yeah, the feature is just about them bringing Atari computers to schools so that kids can play. And check it out. And then over here on the bottom left is educational fun and software from APX, which we've seen, I think it's 70 titles that Atari Program Exchange has brought to us. We haven't really seen a lot of the educational ones by APX, but you can see they have Word Maker here, Cubby Holes, Hickory Dickory. We haven't seen any of those games. They're all educational games. Yeah, thanks Obsidian. Bring it on. I love it. Over here on the right side is Computer Education in the Orient, and this is computers in Hong Kong, sending Atari computers to Hong Kong public libraries. And then they even have a little article about a whiz kid in Hong Kong. His name is Zul Erizm. A student at the school is considered the computer whiz kid. Does anybody know of Zul? Besides, you know, the Ghostbusters reference, which we won't see yet. But apparently he's the whiz kid on computers. I wonder if he did anything with it. And then let's flip on after the Orient. Then we have some just photos of everyone learning computers, senior citizens, children messing around their Atari. I really want to see if they have any games, but they're not showing screens right now. There's a kid playing on the paddle controls. Awesome. Over in Menlo Park, California. And yeah, can't see what's on the screen. That one down there looks like the kids are looking at a bar graph. And then over here is another one with paddle controls. So yeah, it's just the educational side of computers. And here's even more. Atari home computers go to college. Atari 400 awarded to scholarship students. That's pretty cool. And then over here, this is, oh man, look at the disk drives. And then the printer, the dot matrix printer for your Atari. Wow. The wave of the future in your college today. Wow, you had a computer lab with 20 Ataris? That's pretty cool. Our computer lab was nothing but Apple IIs. So I wasn't doing Atari at school. And then over here is more computer classes that you can take. And then down here, I kind of can tell, it looks almost like they're playing dueling digits. But it's hard to tell exactly what game that is on that side. At least they're playing on an 800. That's pretty cool. And then over here we have Atari computer camps that are a thing. Who went to Atari computer camp for the summer? Big summer of programming fun. There's no programming going on. They're playing volleyball right there. So you can see what Atari Connection magazine's all about. It's about getting the Atari computers out to the masses, especially with schools. I know, right? Space camp. I'd rather do Atari camp if it was 1982. All right, so here's the news features they have, and these are the good ones. The first one is Atari joining the Force. Look out, Darth Vader. Atari and Lucasfilm have announced joint plans to develop and market video games for Atari coin-operated machines, home computer game systems, and home computers. Lucasfilm and well-known producer Continuing the Star Wars saga and Raiders of the Lost Ark, Industrial Light and Magic special effects division of Lucasfilm recently completed the special effects for 3 of the summer blockbusters, Star Trek II, Poltergeist, and E.T. So Ray Kassar, chairman and CEO of Atari right now, is looking forward to working with a company as innovative and creative as Lucasfilm. The association is natural since both companies are leaders in their respective fields for now. Hold on to your joysticks. You can see centipedes in space. You may see centipedes in space joining the Force before too long. No, we will not. But we will see some of those other ones. And then Atari's going to sponsor a TV science show starring Peter Graves. I'm not familiar with that one. World of Science? Anyone see that? And then Atari and computers at McDonald's. And then computers for DoD-dependent schools. So again, bringing the Atari computers to schools. Let's flip on to the next one. Yes, I don't know if we should, Manly. And then over here is software, which we don't care about here on the show. This is Bookkeeper by Atari. Yeah, he's enjoying it. Barely got a smile for us. And then putting Bookkeeper to the test. And then over here is designing the dream room that you would want for your Atari. You can see over here. That's pretty cool. Check it out. And you still can't tell exactly what they're playing, but that's awesome. Load up the kids' rooms with computers. And then this is just photos of what your house looks like with an Atari computer. So this is kind of a cool idea. Look at this girl. It looks like a super young Roberta Williams, like Roberta Williams' daughter, using software. And I can't quite see, is that Pac-Man that's on the Atari? It's got to be. Yeah, it looks like Pac-Man that's on that screen. And then over here on this one, check that out. They got the wood paneling and everything. So cool. Got an Atari 800 up there. Very nice. And then down here we have someone playing, oh, it might be Zork on their Atari. Let's see. No, it says he's writing novels on that one. And then over here we have the Atari printer too. So cool. All right, flip it on to the next page. And then they have more focus on kids. Look how happy he is. Probably playing Rocky's Boots with a throwback Atari Age poster in the background of this one. Very nice. And then as usual, Atari Connection does the Find the Bug contest where every issue they tell kids, hey, we're going to give you some code, you find the bug, and you win some stuff. It's loads of fun for all the little programmers out there. And then this is the current program puzzle, and then Find the Bug, and then who won the Find the Bug contest. And then now they're going into talking about animation on the Atari home computer, which is kind of cool. This is an animation of a little guy running across the screen. And then we got an interview over here with David Fox. Did a few educational titles that I don't think we saw on the show. We don't hit on too much early childhood educational games. We care about the meaty video games, the real video games. And then here's having some fun with Pilot, if you want to do that on your Atari home computer. And then another one over here with VisiCalc, so you can see mostly for developers. I'm sure you would eat it right up. And then we have some book reviews if you want to have some fun reading basic book reviews. I'll flip past all this. Looks like they blew those up way too big. And here we go. Over on the right side, the Atari gift catalog. Whoa. Merchandising, where the real money from Atari's made. You have a Centipede t-shirt, Caverns of Mars. All these look awesome, and I would love to have them right now. And there we go. On the back of it, we have Learn to Have Brave New Worlds with more kids on your Atari. There we go. Star Raiders. She's playing Star Raiders with a space helmet. That's awesome. Looks like my wife if she had an Atari home computer. All right, so there you go. That is the latest issue of Atari Connection. Lots of fun and kind of seeing a little of what's happening. I love the news because they give you previews of what's going to be coming up as the new cool thing at the time. All right, let's see what our next game is after reading the Atari Connection. It's time to go play on our Intellivision and check out the latest release. This is Atlantis. Let's see what's up with Atlantis. Starting with the box. Now, this one is a reconstructed box. I've already spoken about Imagic and their glossy, shiny boxes. This one, it doesn't really scan too well, so I'm giving you a pseudo look of the box, but this isn't the true look of the box. Atlantis isn't new. We've already seen the release on the Atari VCS in July 1982, and this one is Imagic's 7th game we've seen on the show, including all the other ports too. And this is the very first Imagic game that was brought to the Intellivision. So this is Imagic right now first on the Intellivision after they did everything on the Atari VCS. Love the front of the box though. I don't know if this one had the multiple covers like the Atari VCS did. All right, let's flip it over the back. So cool. They got a couple screenshots for us. Mattel Intellivision and also the Sears Super Video Arcade if you had the Sears version. And you can have 1 or 2 players, and it also highlights the day becomes dusk and then night mode, which is only on this one. It wasn't on the Atari version. Oh, this is so fun. Yeah, for the Intellivision, this is fantastic. All right, let's take a look at any other art we have for Atlantis. There we go. So that's the scan of the front of the box. You can see it's supposed to be a like aluminum shiny front of the box, and it doesn't really work very well. I have seen some unboxing of brand new Imagic games that look so cool. Love to have that one of those. All right, yeah, so I've only played this on the Atari. I have not seen this on the Intellivision. We get to check it out and spot the difference. There's the overlay we're going to have to play the game. Put that over your controller, and you can see we have different difficulty levels, and then players 1 and 2, and then a saucer button. I'm not sure what that is. Inside the box, there's also a 2-player version letting you know that if you have the left controller, Sentinel software explodes, and then what the right controller does. And you have additional challenges if you want to do 2-player versions, because they highlighted that on the Atari, 1 and 2-player versions. There's our Intellivision with controllers intact. So cool. There's the cartridge we're going to pop it and play on our Intellivision. Same really great artwork that the box had. So much fun. And we also have the manual to how we can play Atlantis. Oh man, we have the story and lore. General Tarek looks over the jeweled expanse of Atlantis, the ancient city beneath the sea, a civilization greater than any the world has ever known. And look, we got the story. Defend Atlantis before it becomes a watery grave. Look at this even more story. Atlantis, the fabled city of antiquity, lies in peaceful waters. And everyone has to get to their stations because we're going to be attacked by Gorgons. Our objective is blast Gorgon vessels before they can demolish sectors of Atlantis with their death rays. Deploy your weaponry wisely. Use the crosshair sights to aim shots fired from the 2 sentry posts stationed on the outskirts of Atlantis. Launch the Sentinel launcher and destroy Gorgon vessels. Battle through day, dusk, and night, which wasn't a part of Atari. So there's our first difference. And then it shows our console controls. We're going to do this all with the overlay sliding over the top. There it is. There's our overlay in the top right. We can pause the action using 1, 9, 3, and 7. Okay, so we can use pause using the numpad as well. Remove the controllers and then put your overlays on. Press the start in the top left of either gamepad or the start button on the overlay, and then select number of players, level of difficulty, and then press the disc to go. And then it has what your arsenal is for Atlantis. We have the anti-aircraft guns. Now, this is our other difference. With Atari, you just fired the gun. This one, you actually have a cursor, it says, that moves across the screen. It floats, yeah, crosshair is going to be flying around the screen almost like Missile Command. Wow, that's pretty nice. I know, it's amazing. And then you can have the saucers that fly across the top, that fly left to right. Look at all the artwork. This is a great manual for the Intellivision. A full spread. Is this a poster that you could put up? That is so nice. And then we have a fuel level that appears at the bottom center of the screen when a Sentinel saucer is launched. The Sentinel software explodes whenever the fuel reaches 0, and that means the death ray. And then over here on the right side, we show the Gorgon fleet, the Squid Bomber, the Bi-Wing Bullet. There's the one that looks like the Death Star, which is, I think, the Bi-Wing Bullet, just a little bit. And then the Spider Fighter. It has different flight patterns, and then the Gorgon plans of attack. This is awesome. This manual has so much to it. It shows you how to destroy the ships, and then the longer you last through different levels, it ends up changing from daytime to dawn and then to nighttime with the lights on the screen. You confront the Gorgon fleet alone if you do 1-player version and use any controller you want, but if you do the 2-player version, you battle together. Oh no, you don't battle together. The game alternates with another player. So you take on 3 squadrons, and then when the shift turns, then the other player registers an independent score. Interesting. 2-player game ends with both players' cities completely destroyed. So this means you're working together, but you're not having 2 crosshairs on the screen at the same time. Yeah, alternates view. Each player registers an independent score. Okay, so it's not simultaneous play. It's taking turns. Then they got some tactical tips for us over on the left side. Very cool. And if you need a keypad cover replacement, you can do it right there. Love it. All right, let's pop in and play that cartridge on our Intellivision. It's time to play Atlantis. This was originally by Dennis Coble, and Pat Ransel did the port over here by Imagic on our Intellivision. Oh man, so cool. All right, Alright, so the first thing you have to know is everything on the overlay. Make sure you have the overlay or you can't play the game. We're going to push number 1 to start, and then it's going to ask how many players we want. We have to use the overlay to say, I want to do a 1-player game. So pushing number 7, and then what level of difficulty we want, we push that on the overlay for easy, and then when you're ready, hit the disc and go. Day 1 of Atlantis. Whoa, totally different. Look at this. So I can use my controller to fire from the left turret or from the right turret. And I think I have, is that a saucer turret? Is that what that is? Oh, I went too low. But this is completely different than the Atari. The Atari, you just told which side to fire, and it fired. This one, it feels more like I'm playing Missile Command. Gameplay is way more playable than the Atari. Oh, and I got double shots. I'm even doing less firepower than before. Look at that. Wow. Very cool. And it's colorful, bright. Already feels like I'm harking on the Atari VCS. It's already fun on the Atari VCS. This is awesome. Oh yeah, the saucer. We gotta get the saucer on there, right? Is it 0? Oh, that's so cool. You can bring the saucer out. Thanks for telling me. So if you push the saucer button, you can bring it out and fly it around. It's like we're playing Cosmic Arc. What? Whoa. Okay, wait, where's my fuel though? It's draining. I gotta bring them down. Okay, bring them down. Bring them down. You can see the fuel level going down, and then when you want to bring the saucer out, you just push it again, right? Yeah. Oh man, that is so cool. So you can switch between saucer or radar shots on the side. That's amazing. Yeah, actually, fun fact: Obsidian Arcade, there is no Cosmic Arc on the Intellivision. So Atlantis was ported over to the Intellivision, but Cosmic Arc isn't there, and now I'm seeing why. Because this is kind of, well, it doesn't have the cool transporter mode of Cosmic Arc, but I'm being able to control the UFO. Uh-oh. Oh, at nighttime, I gotta go down and get some refuel. Oh, and the shots get... That got him, nice. So your shot gets obscured. They're the same color as the spotlights. But presentation, man, you gotta admit, this is really, really cool. Not the first time we've seen these kind of lighting effects on a home console, but it still works really well. I know it is almost feel like 2 games in 1, because that's how Cosmic Arc felt. It felt like Space Zap and then the transporter, where you're supposed to beam up the aliens or save them. So while I never got a true Cosmic Arc on the Intellivision, it is nice that it has this. Yeah, this is so cool. The nighttime mechanic. Being someone that only played the Atari version and have never seen the Intellivision version, this is incredible. And it came out really close. This is the same year that we saw Atlantis released on the Atari, and then this is another one of those times that, did you go over to your friend's house and they had the Intellivision and you were blown away at how good their Atlantis was? Alright, day 2. It begins at dawn. Let's get our UFO out here. Yeah, we got our fuel back. Let's blow some stuff up. Sweet. Wow, yeah, if you think... So I'm already seeing some ratings. Obsidian Arcade's already thrown out, saying it's one of the best console games you could play right now at 4.5 stars out of 5. I'm really impressed. We gave the Atlantis on the Atari 2600 above average, 3.5 stars. But, yeah, this one's at least 4 stars of all the games you could play on a home console. Yeah, the multiple game modes. All right, let's go down. It's now changing from day to night, and I have the 2 different turret options. That's amazing. That's so cool. Manly's throwing out 5 stars of all the games you could play on a home console. Top tier. This one is so good. Love it. Oh, thanks, Marshall, for the heads up. I gotta remember that when I use the saucer. Yeah, when you consider the shooters that you'd be playing right now on home consoles, this one's excellent. This is one of the best shooters you could be playing. So much fun. Obviously, it's taking the view from a fixed perspective, so it's nothing extremely impressive like B-17 Bomber that you can play right now with, you know, speech using the IntelliVoice on your Intellivision. But, oh yeah, this is really fun. Yeah, Brian North saying 4.5. And then I see 4.5 from Jeff the Apex Flipper. Yeah, so lots of high ratings. Everyone so far in the chat has been in the rating of 5 stars. 4.5 or 5. I mean, this is one of the best games you could play on a home console right now. Now, I'd like to see, what I'm going to actually do is, let me back out. I want to back out because I want to see how the 2-player mode is, if it really is alternate play, or how alternate play it is. So I'm going to plug another controller in, and let's see just a little bit of what 2-player Atlantis is. They said there was like a special mode for it. So let's try it out. All right, so do it again with our keypad. We hit play, and then we want to do 2 players, and then what level? We'll do the same easy, and then we hit the disc to go. So here we go, day 1, Atlantis. Jimmy's already thrown out 5 as well. And there you go. Chiptune is not nearly as impressed. Okay, so here, it starts off with whoever has the first-hand controller. So I'm going to have to switch back and forth, like one hand using one and then another one. So this means this is all being controlled. I wish the second player could, like, control the UFO, and you can do ultimate firepower. But no, I'm... The first-hand controller's hands are tied. They can't do anything. This is all coming from only the other one. Yeah, so I'm trying things on the other controller to see. Oh no, there's the death ray. We didn't stop him. At least we can see what those Gorgons could do. So yeah, it is true alternate play. We're not able to do anything simultaneous. So that would be something the Atari has that is a little different from this one. The Atari one allowed you to play with 2 different people, but all you had control of was when to fire one of the turrets. So no crosshair, but you were able to play at the same time. There's the ones that look a lot like one of the TIE Fighters. Oh, they're coming down using the death ray. So this is still only happening from one controller. The other player hasn't played anything yet. This is your big brother taking over and not letting you have a turn yet. Alright, so this is the second mode. Okay, now I'm taking over. They keep separate scores at the top, and now this is the other player. You see the score going at the top of the screen. Alright, so yeah, it's true alternate play. You don't get to go at the same time. Brian's even thinking like a 5, yeah. So Atari has that difference, but even still, you gotta admit, this is really, really fun. Even taking turns on this, you would have a blast. Alright, so the big differences between this one and the Atari is you have 2 gun turrets with a movable cursor rather than just shooting the gun. You have the deployable ship you can take on enemies, the UFO coming out there, and then you have the day and night cycle. The Atari has the 2-player at the same time, but there's no cursor. You just fire the shots back and forth. Oh, yes. So Marshall's saying 5. This is incredible. I would say yes. This is one of the best games you could play on a home console across the gamut. However, because it's still alternate play and because of the other shooters that we've seen, like B-17 bombers trying something completely different, or because we've seen some home consoles that are pushing boundaries even further, I'm not going to go all the way 5. I'm going to say 4.5 of all the games so far. Still one of the best games for a home console, but for all the games out there on home consoles, there are games that are pushing the limits of what home consoles can do right now. So I wouldn't want to call 5. I'm looking at Pitfall as one of those examples. I know, right? No, it's really difficult, Marshall, to even go past that mode. It's amazing. All right, so there you go. That's Atlantis, the first port or the first game that Magic did on our Intellivision. Alright, it's time to put the video game playing on pause. Tune in next time on Chronologically Gaming, where we're going to check out another game for our Intellivision and the latest video game by Sirius Software. That's it for today, and like I always say, end of line. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.